We need to process people in detention centres. We need to build proper camps where we keep people safe, whether they are migrants or the local communities.
Incredible phrasing. Incredible. She chose the word camp. That was a deliberate choice. And if you're thinking, oh no, Femi, you're just being picky, and she didn't really mean concentration camps, well, why would she choose the word? Because the whole point of what she's trying to get across is that when we take in asylum seekers, we need to hold them in a secure place where they can't get out until we've fully processed them and told them how they're supposed to behave and blah, 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 so that they can't potentially do damage to the local community. That's the message that she's going for. So why would she use the word camp? Camp does not imply security. If you were thinking of something like that, you would say something along the lines of detention center, even prison or jail or whatever, something that's secure. Camp does not imply that unless you mean concentration camp. And for the record, when I mentioned the notion of not letting these men out into society until they've been taught how to behave and how to respect women, I agree with the idea that men should not be allowed out into society until they have been taught how to respect women. But I apply that principle equally, both to immigrants and to men born here, because with 80,000 rapes per year in England and Wales, clearly that message isn't getting across. And we could fix that problem by having things like stronger messaging around women's rights and women's experiences in school so that young boys understand what women go through, and having more female leads in TV and film so that we have more respect for women in general. But right-wingers like Kemi Badenoch and Nigel Farage would say that all these measures to keep women safe from men are woke political correctness gone mad. These right-wingers clearly do not care about the safety of women and girls. They just want to put asylum seekers into concentration camps, while arguing that we need to leave the European Convention on Human Rights and scrap the Human Rights Act. And remember your history. The European Convention on Human Rights was a direct response of European countries to what Germany did to minority groups in the 1930s. So to leave the European Convention on Human Rights, specifically so that you can do worse things to minorities, including explicitly saying you're going to put them into camps, whether it's Kemi Badenoch, Rupert Lowe, Nigel Farage, we have been heading in a bad direction for a very long time. And for the record, I don't like to say I told you so, but no, that's a lie. I do like to say I told you so. However, I don't like that all the bad things that I say will happen keep happening. This was me at the end of 2016.
One of our first moves is likely to be repealing the Human Rights Act, rights guaranteed by the EU. Hello? It's almost cliche that the first thing we plan to do upon leaving a body set up in response to the worst human rights abuses against people deemed to be foreigners is to attack our human rights because of foreigners!